Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin, being played on the PS4. I wanted to do this as sort of a combination between a Let's Play and a guide, mostly because I got done with Dark Souls 3 for about the 10th time, and I'm like, you know what, I kind of miss Dark Souls 2, so let's begin. Now, I'm going to be skipping through the few cutscenes there are, and mostly NPC dialogue, because there's a million other videos on YouTube with those. If you want to see them, you can just go to one of those. And whoever made those videos is probably better at explaining things than I am. So, let's get started. Now, when you start, you can't really see your face because you haven't chosen your gender yet. As you can see by the half health bar up there, you're hollow. This area is actually really pretty compared to what it used to be. I mean, yeah, it's dark and decrepit, but welcome to Dark Souls. That's kind of the story of everything here. Now, when you come in here and you talk to these women, this is where you're going to name and create your character. So give me a moment here, I'll bring you back in when I'm done. Alright, and it's done. Now, as you can see, under my class, I chose the Cleric. This is going to be a walkthrough of a Cleric, obviously, because Clerics are just overpowered as hell. They can make an otherwise stressful, anxiety-inducing game pretty simple, all things considered. Now, there's one thing I did want to show you, is the gift. You start off with a gift, and this actually doesn't matter all that much. You can choose anything here and not be at a major advantage or disadvantage. If you're brand new, I would recommend starting out with the life ring, which is what I'm going to start off with, which basically just gives you a little bit more health. And I mean a very little bit. Maybe enough to take another half a hit before you die. Now we finally have control of our character, let's look at our gear we start with. We start with the Cleric Sacred Chime by default. Now, a chime is a catalyst that allows you to use miracles, which are spells, but like holy spells. Now this Cleric is going to actually turn into like a sort of paladin build by the end, and if you don't know what a paladin is, it's kind of like a heavily armored warrior priest almost from Dungeons and Dragons. The miracle we start out with is heal, which is very valuable. It'll allow us, while we're out and about in the world, to heal ourselves without consuming the item we'll get later, which is our Estus Flask or any of these life gems, because those become precious as the game goes on. When you're still in the old hag's house, come up here and grab the human effigy. Now, remember earlier when I was walking in how my health was halved? That's what happens when you die. Your health will not be halved, but it will lose, I believe, 5% per tick? Something like that? 5% per death? And human effigies, while serving other purposes I'll explain later, do allow you to revert back to your human form, which is really nice. We didn't just start off with the chime, though. We also started out with a mace. Now, as you can see, the X on the icon there of the mace means we don't have the stats to use it as it is right now. So if we use it, it's kind of on the clunkier side. But if we two-hand it, all of a sudden it becomes much more effective. Soul of the Lost Undead and Torch. Now, soul items, what they do is if you use it, you'll acquire souls. You see in the bottom right hand corner I have 0 right now. That's because we just started the game. Souls allow you to level up and buy items. They're kind of the currency of the game. So what we can do now, you could do this on the way if you wanted. We're going to backtrack a little bit because there's an item we can get that, like I said, it's not exactly critical to this. None of this is exactly critical to the start of your game, but it'll help. See these tracks? That means there's something ahead. Let's see if we can't take out this big, you'll see. This big old ogre fella. Hey, buddy. Oh god, he's having none of it. Alright, 2 hits, and get away. In this game, getting greedy usually means you get dead. It's that simple. Oh, he hit me. Oh god. Not that big of a deal. We're not missing that much health. Oh god, get out. We're not missing that much health yet. Stay away from that sitting attack. At this point, it will kill you in one hit. See that green bar in the upper left-hand corner? That's my stamina. I'm playing pretty poorly because I'm constantly running out of it. When your stamina's gone, you can't do anything. And he's dead. Okay. Whew. That can go horribly wrong. So, well, that's what I wanted to get, is the stone ring. Let's take a look at it. I didn't even equip the life ring yet. Well, aren't I good? Stone ring. The beloved ring of the gallant Shieldus Lothian, formerly of Forosa, hits greatly reduced enemy poise. Now, what poise is basically, in a nutshell, how many hits you can take before you're staggered. What this will do is it'll let us essentially hit enemies a lot harder so they get staggered faster. You don't want to get staggered. When you get staggered, you are dead in the water. You can't do anything. What I just picked up there is a gold pine resin, which coats your weapon with lightning temporarily. Now, being a cleric, later on in the game, we'll get miracles, as I mentioned. And lightning damage is actually pretty big for clerics. It's good in PvE as well as PvP. It makes you hit very hard, and a lot of enemies are very weak to it. Alright, we got what we wanted from here, so let's move on. These are all tutorial areas. Now, if this is your first time playing the game, or if you're just really rusty, I recommend you go through them, because it'll teach you some valuable stuff, and it'll let you farm up some souls. And that's never a bad thing. I'm going to skip through it. Except for... Nope, I missed it. Damn it. Yeah, it's the first one. I should have remembered that. Sorry. Okay, going back. Somebody just... If you look in the right-hand corner, somebody died and gave me souls. I have no idea what happens to them. That happens in this game. People just die. These guys are... Okay, the thing about Dark Souls is never think you're safe from basic enemies, because no matter where you are in the game or what level you are, they can still gang up on you and straight up murder you, and that's not fun. This little stone right here explains something very important. R1 behind enemy's back, critical hit. So this is a backstab, and watch what happens. He gets wrecked. One hit kill. Again, I'm just going through here because there's something I want to show you at the end, which, depending on how you play, can be really, really helpful. Ah, he hit me. Game over. Not really. Hey, friend. How are you? Ah, you dead. That's how you are. Take a look at my mace there in the left corner. See that little red bar below it? That's its durability. Weapons do break in this game extremely quickly. Now, if they're just damaged and not fully broken, you just rest on a bonfire, get your health back. Oh, one second. It brings back your weapon durability, and you're all set. If it breaks completely, you have to take it to the blacksmith in Majula, which we'll get to in a minute. It's the main hub of this world, and you have to actually spend a bunch of souls to repair it. So always have a backup weapon if you need one. The mace has pretty good durability. The mace is a very solid starting weapon, actually. When we upgrade it, which I'll explain as we get to it, it can carry you through a good portion of the game. The trick is just getting the stats to use it. So this is what I wanted to show you. These things are actually pretty annoying, but they're helpful.
Yes, you! Give us Saki!
Now what happens here is if you can go into... That's not what I wanted. You can go into your inventory and see how you can leave something. If you leave certain items on the crow's nest, they'll give you another item. It's a trade system. The trades aren't guaranteed. Now, good things to trade them. If you look back at the beginning of the video under starting gifts, there is a smooth and silky stone. Those are what they love. But we didn't take it because they're not going to give us anything that's really valuable right now. And for a new player, the life ring really is your best choice. Alright, so we're going to progress through here. I'm playing in offline mode as to avoid invasions for this, but usually when you're walking through here, there's a ton of messages from other players you can see on the ground. Okay, so this is Majula. This, as I mentioned, is the hub world of the game. You'll be coming back here to do your leveling up, quite a few items will be bought here. And as you go through, we're going to be talking to NPCs, and you'll see me always exhausting their dialogue until they're basically on a loop. If you exhaust an NPC, especially a merchant's dialogue, and you kill the boss in the area, they'll come back here. And they're just more accessible, easier. Okay, so we're going to light this bonfire, and while we're in Majula, we have a few things we can do, well really one for right now, to help us out. Come on, really? Okay, so see this rock right here? Give it a smack. And we're going to find a dead buddy come up, but he's going to give us an Estus Flash shard, which is a really helpful item. See those pigs over there? Just avoid them, because right now, they will wreck you. Just don't. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to talk to her. This is the Emerald Herald. If you're the main character of the game, she's the second main character of the game. You do all your leveling up through her. She's about to give us our Estus Flask. And you can, that shard we just picked up, we can give to her, which will give us another use of our Estus Flask. So like I said, I'm going to skip the dialogue. Feel free to pause the video and scroll along if you want to read it. But here we go. Just gave us our Estus Flask. You may level up by the power of the Emerald Herald. You gotta keep talking to her. She likes to talk a lot, and that doesn't get any better throughout the game.
Is that a here?
Okay, here she's talking to me about a shard. What you do is you go into her menu here and upgrade Estus Flask. So good, now we've got another swig of our Estus Flask. That's dandy. There's a guy sitting up here. You can talk to him, but we're going to be doing that later, and for a reason. I mean, it's not like if you talk to him right now, you're going to hurt you. It's just, there's no reason to do it at the moment. Gonna go over here and grab a Soul of a Nameless Soldier and a Life Gem. Life Gems are what I have equipped right now. They slowly regenerate health, and that reminds me, down here's your belt of items you can use. Don't run into battle without having your Estus Flask on your belt. I do that sometimes, and it's just stupid. So there's a few little goodies we can pick up here in Majula first. Really? Okay, cool. Thanks. Get out of here. Stupid wooden. Another life gem. And there's one more thing. There's an item up here, and there's something I want to warn you about. There are covenants in this game, which you can think of as guilds or clans, sort of. Right here is the Covenant of Champions. Do not join this. It gives you 2 or 3 warnings that it's going to set you on an extremely difficult path, and my god does it. If you join that, you can't summon anyone to help you, be they player or NPC, and enemies will be a lot more difficult. You just don't, okay? Just don't. So, I'm going to wrap it up pretty soon, because I wanted this just to be the introductory episode to get you on a good starting position here. But there's one more thing I want to do. Right now we don't really have enough souls to do much with, but I want to show you a very easy way to farm some souls when you're starting up. Now this takes us towards Hyde's Tower of Flame, which is the second area of the game. Technically, you can do it in whatever order you want, but difficulty-wise it's the second. The first is the Forest of Fallen Giants, which we'll be taking a look at next episode. But if you come down here, look in the left wall here. First, we can get a pretty... It's not the best shield in the game, but it's better than nothing, even though right now we're not going to be using a shield. To open this floodgate, you simply walk up here and pull this little doohickey down. Wait for this to open. Oh, why can't I roll through that? I've never understood that. Alright, walk over here. I believe it's a sword? Oh, Soul of a Lost Undead and a Broken Thief Sword. We're not interested in that. Like I said, right now, the mace is our best friend. So when we come up the stairs here, we're going to be at Hyde's Tower of Flame. Any second now. And this place looks pretty cool. Now, these guys are not hostile yet unless you attack them. I don't recommend attacking this one because look at about how much space you have to utilize. Almost nothing. That big stone guy right there, don't worry about him. They're actually what we're going to be farming. But what we're going to do is run down here and grab this bonfire first. Bonfires are really the only thing in this game that resembles safety. So here's what I do to farm. I farm these guys because they're big, slow, and very predictable. He's going to do a 3-hit. Get in there, do some damage. Wait for him to do his next 3 hits. And he's down. Okay, now, this is if I'm going to screw it up here, this is where I'm going to screw it up. This big hammer guy up here, he is far less predictable, and he hits far harder. That hammer is a bitch. That was a bad time to hit, but we're going to take it. Okay. Again, like I said in the beginning when fighting the ogre, don't get greedy. Greedy gets dead. Just get in, do a couple hits, and then get out to safety. Should be able to kill him here. Yep, he's dead. Okay. Hailstone, we'll take a look at those later. Surely I'm not the only one that thinks this was intentional, right? Like, okay. Moving on. Soul of a Nameless Soldier and a Human Effigy. And now to end the farming route, well, I got 2 more to go actually. Walk up here. This guy tends to be a little more defensive, but you can still bait out his 3-hit attack. Just make sure he doesn't hit you off this ledge. It is possible to hit him off the ledge, but it's... I mean, they're easy enough to kill like this. See, he's just about to die. Oh, Lloyd's Talisman. Okay. Now, that'll come up, which, if you look in that arena right there, let me get a good spot where you can see him. That's the Dragon Rider. That's a boss we'll face probably 3rd. Yeah. Now, as you can see, his arena is very tiny. There are 2 of these we can pull. This is just future-proofing here. You pull these, and another section will come up. There's 2 more. I mean, there's 1 more lever to pull, though next lever is about right above where my head is in there. But we're not going in there right now. And yes, that is a dragon. That's a new addition to the Scholar of the First Sin. Don't even think about going over there yet. Just don't. Let me show you why this isn't a part of the farming route. It can be, but this guy has a big sword. Now, you get to this ring, he'll aggro. Usually, those 2 won't attack you until he's dead. So if you want, you can farm this guy, but he's decently dangerous. He's not a pushover like the others. And by that I mean, his health is the same, but he's, in my opinion, less predictable. So there, we're already up to 3,000 souls. It'd be pretty cool if we were up to 30,000 already. Now here's the last NPC I'm going to go through. The Hide Knight. Now, after you kill the boss, the Dragon Rider, everything in this area, all the Hide Knights in this area, become hostile towards you and will attack you on sight. Just keep that in mind. Alright, let's do this. These guys are quick, so be careful. Oh god, he brought his friends. Oh no. Okay, well, there's a very, very simple fix for that. I'm just gonna rest here and reset them all. Yes, enemies do reset when you rest at a bonfire, but unlike in Dark Souls 1 and 3, they don't respawn infinitely. I've never been able to figure out exactly how many times they respawn, but it is between 10 and 15. After that, they will not respawn anymore until you go into New Game Plus, or you burn a bonfire ascetic, which makes the area New Game Plus. This area gets a lot more dangerous in New Game Plus, so don't do that. Not yet. There, I'm gonna take him out. Well, I need 1 more hit. Nope! Okay. And he's down. So what I'm gonna do is kill the hammer dude again, and then not run over there and aggro everything so I can take out the Hide Knight. Oh no, this one. Nope, didn't hit me, okay. Yeah, you have fun, buddy. Oh, okay. Well, not a big deal. So this is what I said. We have 2 Estus flasks, and we have 15 life gems. We can always buy more life gems, and we'll find more Estus shards throughout the journey. But we started with a chime and a miracle called Heal. Why not switch to our chime real quick and use it? Because spell uses come back when you rest at the bonfire. Alright, now, let's try to take this guy out again. Oh no, I forgot to equip. Oh, I forgot to 2-hand. Well, that's not good. Okay, I'm going to get a life gem rolling just because he did hit me. And then stay away from him. Best you can, at least. And get out. See, when he kind of leaned backwards right there, I broke his poise. That's what I was talking about earlier. I got pretty decently lucky that lunge didn't hit me, or that would have hurt. Alright, if I can get in a few hits. Oh no. Go for it! Okay, he's dead. Not the most difficult enemies, but they can be very, very dangerous. Especially if there's more than one, which can happen, in which case, right now, we'd be screwed. Alright, so, to wrap this up, just gonna head on back to Majula. Feel free to take as much time as you want to farm that route I just showed you. It'll get you stronger for the first area, the Forest of Fallen Giants. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you soon.